Hello, hello. Welcome back to Crazy Games. Welcome to Genshin Impact. How are you doing today? I am doing fine. So yeah, today I am going to do this button. The Sangonomiya Kokomi quest. So, I guess if I go here, it would be yes, right here. Dracaena Somnolenta chapter. How do they come up with these names? And I wonder what they are in like the other languages. There's all these like weird fancy sounding words they always like find to name these story chapters. Sangonomiya Kokomi story chapter quest start. The curtains have fallen on the Vision Hunt decree, and Kokomi invites you to return to the Watatsumi Island and join their victory feast. Yeah, it's their victory now, even though they did absolutely nothing. The post-war peace talks are coming soon, and yet rumors that are hard to verify are beginning to spread. Some plot is clearly afoot. It is time to bear witness to Kokomi's resolve and the future of Watatsumi Island. And yeah, I should go in and unlock this bad boy right here. Oh, claim. The maximum number of keys have been reached. Oh wait. Unlock. Spend one story key to unlock, yes. And then I can claim. There, okay. Blah, blah, blah. So we got this now. Warriors, dreams like spring grass renewing. Dracaena Somnolenta Chapter Act 1. Watatsumi Sightseeing. Go to the agreed location on Watatsumi Island. The war is over, and you have received a letter from Kokomi saying that Watatsumi Island is going to hold a victory feast, and that she would like you to attend. However, when you arrive on Watatsumi Island, you find that not all is right with the world here. Dot. Let's track that. So yeah, one of the things about the story recently is that, I don't know, I felt like I was like super negative when it came to Raiden Shogun's story quest. I feel like they took the character in a really weird direction. I guess some people, I've read that some people felt the same way that I felt when it came to how they portrayed A. Some people liked that she was like kind of a naive and adorable girl who doesn't really know much about the today's world, and we were given the opportunity to show her around. But some people had the same like sentiment as me, where I felt like she's a leader. She was portrayed to be super badass, super amazing, super charismatic, and like an amazing leader. But for whatever reason, they kind of just like forgot about all that and decided to like put like a really cliche character trope on her, which didn't really fit what they originally have set up for her in the first place. So yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like recently the story quests they're okay to play through, but as I was editing through my videos and stuff, I felt like watching it was not very interesting, and on top of that, my commentary is not like interesting enough to really pull through to be what people would be watching these videos for. So I'm thinking if this story ends up being kind of mediocre to boring to my sensibilities, I'm gonna maybe just stop recording myself do the story quests and only do like Archon quests, just so like it kind of follows the story of Lumine a little bit more, whereas a lot of these side quests don't really involve Lumine all that much. It's kind of hard to judge since some of the story quests are okay, and I don't know, the story quests are really hit and miss. And recently, the Archon quest I feel like the quality of it has also gone down significantly. But yeah, let's check out what's going on in the story. The reason why I kind of want to stop, I'm on the fence about stopping recording so much about this game. We'll watch this cutscene first. I'll kind of explain myself later.
約束した場所だな。旅人、ここのこと覚えてるか？
Oh, Paimon's voice sounds kind of different a little bit. Maybe she's not like yelling at people.
時、ここを通ったことがあるだろ？あの時、お前はメカジキ2番隊の隊長になってたよな。もうあれからだいぶ時間が経ってるから、抵抗軍の兵士たちがまだお前のことを忘れてないといいんだけど。
Yeah, I feel like MiHoYo has really dropped the ball in a lot of story steps. Like the whole Swordfish 2 thing was like 2 people, and then we became the captain of Swordfish 2, even though like the 2 people in there would probably know their squad a little bit better. That was kind of weird. And then all of a sudden, Tepe became captain as well. I don't know if they kind of imply that a lot of time has passed, because like the passage of time isn't really well described in this game. So it just because of how fast I played through the story, it felt like he was like nobody soldier, a generic soldier, and suddenly became like a captain out of nowhere. But they try to kind of hand wave the fact that he became a captain because he was doing really well in battlefields and stuff, because he got a delusion which gave him like a power up. So I don't know. And that whole storyline kind of made Kokomi sound kind of stupid too, because not only did she accept supplies from an unknown source, she never vouched or vetted the unknown source, and didn't really do her due diligence as a leader to make sure like there isn't any treachery going on. There isn't people like being a Trojan horse or anything, trying to like ruin their war efforts or their resistance efforts. And like it was also kind of hand waved that Kokomi was in a desperate situation, so she desperately needs all the help she can get. But at the same time, like, I don't know, if you're desperate, that's like more responsibility on leaders to make proper decisions. And yeah, I felt like they really dropped the ball on her character. She's like advertised and portrayed as like this amazing strategist, amazing leader, that even though she's so young, she's become a leader because everyone trusts her judgment and her like work ethic and everything. But then yeah, the story kind of like introduced her as that kind of amazing leader, and then just kind of shoved her aside. Yeah, maybe this game just has a problem with too many characters, because Kujo Sarah was like introduced as like an amazing fighter that defeated Kazuha's friend in a battle, or in that like fight that caused a Raiden Shogun to like try and kill him. Well, Raiden Shogun did kill the friend. It's just that the vision was like saved by Kazuha. And yeah, Kujo Sarah was supposed to be like an amazing character, and at the same time, she gets like defeated off screen by La Signora, which is kind of like, I don't know why they would do that. Maybe they were planning to put like a cutscene in there where we get to see La Signora like just destroy Sarah Kujo in a fight. That kind of suggests that even though Sarah is so strong, that La Signora is just that much stronger. But then no, we just kind of like have to imagine how she got defeated. And yeah, I felt like they kind of it was kind of, they dropped the ball on Sarah Kujo's, or Kujo Sarah's like story plot as well. And they didn't really do much with Goro. I'm actually interested in Goro as like what kind of like combat capabilities he's gonna provide when he becomes like a character that you can pull. I think he's gonna become a character you can pull. I hope so. He's like a bow wielding Geo character, which currently there's no character that has those two like abilities, like holding a bow but using Geo. So I'm really interested as to how MiHoYo would like implement a character like that. But anyway, let's continue the story. I just kind of ranted about the story.
渡積島もきっと大きく変わってると思うぞ。近くを見て回ろうぜ。
So we're gonna go explore Watatsumi, I guess, even though we've already explored this place.
敵がこちらより多ければ突破を求むべし、敵がこちらより少なければ干渉を求むべし。
Goro, speak of the devil.
海辺の敵、輸送船あり、船を燃やせば勝利をもたらさん。
五郎様、
Look at that guy's
出ま
mustache.
したか。
ああ、三国宮様の残した虎の巻をもとに推測すると、ファデュイの船が近くに停泊しているのがわかる。だからこそファデュイの奴らもあんなに突き上がっているんだろう。
Okay, so one of my criticisms of Raiden Shogun's story was that even though under her leadership, Fatui was able to infiltrate like this nation, like physically, I guess, like they were able to make landfall and kind of create like a foothold situation and create like a base within their country, even though the Sakoku decree is in effect, where they like pretty much turn away any travelers. And I was saying like instead of going out and drinking dango milk and reading manga or reading light novels, one of the first things Raiden Shogun's story should have dealt with was like any Fatui remnants that are still like kind of like colluding and working behind the scenes in Inazuma, and I felt like that would make Raiden Shogun seem like a cooler character. Like she is very responsible in that way, that she knows that she's messed up and that's why she would take it upon herself to kind of clean up her own mess. But then they didn't go that direction. But it looks like they're going that direction with these sets of characters, with Goro, with Kokomi, I guess, since this is Kokomi's story quest. So maybe they wanted to clean up the Kanjo Commission corruption on Raiden Shogun's side, but then they'll clean up the Fatui stuff on this side, on the resistance side of the story.
二手に分かれよう。一体が奴らの注意を引き、もう一体がその隙に後ろから回り込んで奴らの船を燃やす。いや、しかし三国宮様は兵力が不足している状況では兵を分断するなとも言っていた。付け入る隙を与え、総崩れを招いてしまうと。
Also, you only have a Geo character on your team. You won't be able to take off any of their shields, and thus turning them into boring health sponges, and it won't be fun to play. It won't be that great to fight against them. You'll lose for sure.
では、救援を呼びましょうか。それでは間に合わない。奴らの動向を見るに、もうここを離れる準備が済んでいるだろう。三国宮様の虎の巻には、外での作戦は急ぐべからずとも書かれてあった。兵力が足りない以上、今回は一旦諦めるしかない。
ではあいつらをこのまま逃すというのですか。そんなの納得できません。
And we walk in. My ears were burning. Did you need my help?
実は、三国宮様の虎の巻には、もう一言書いてある。窮地に陥りしとき。
Oh, our ears are burning. I wonder who.
いまいち意味がわからない。援軍とは一体。
I wonder who would all of a sudden step into the story conveniently to help you guys at this moment, huh? Oh, look who it is. What you guys up to? Oh, we're planning to defeat some Fatui right now.
隊長、Watatsumi島に戻っていたんですか?
We're here to lend a hand. I thought we were like invited here to like celebrate the victory or whatever. All of a sudden, we've just kind of took a huge left turn into fighting Fatui.
助かった。やはり三国宮様の虎の巻に間違いはなかったようだ。ちょうどいい時に来てくれた。近頃、ファドゥイの残党どもに異常な動きが見られてな。それで今回、俺たちは奴らの動向を探り、事前にここで待ち伏せをしていたんだ。だが、こちらには兵を二手に分けられるような人数がいない。悪いが、注意を引きつける役を任せられないだろうか。
So what happened to Swordfish 2? They should still exist, right? It was Teppei's team that Wait, no, it was only Teppei that died, so interesting.
わかった。ファデュイがまた何か悪さをしようとしてるのかもしれない。オイラたちも放っておけないぜ。
That's another thing with that part of the story. Like Teppei was just a generic NPC, but then they gave him so much like character and so much development. But then the model they gave him was just like a generic soldier-looking dude. So like visually, it was hard to really like get attached to him, and the flow of the story as well just like rushed by so fast that there was no like way to let any of the story beats sink in. And the fact that Lumine, or I guess the Traveler, didn't have any voice acting, so we didn't get to like hear kind of her emotional attachment, or I guess the Traveler, like for me is a her, I guess. Like we did get to hear like how much she actually cared by the tone of her voice or anything. So when we read her dialogue options, we kind of put ourselves into that, and like for me personally, I didn't really care about that character all that much. So like the fact that he gone through this huge character arc where he started as nothing and became like a captain, and then all of a sudden his hubris, I guess, or whatever, has led him to his end. Like that entire character arc just didn't matter to me, and I felt like why would they spend so much time on characters like that when they have a lot of other characters that probably would deserve more time to begin with? So yeah, I don't know, the whole Teppei thing was, I felt like another like where they dropped the ball and it was like missed shots. It was like a direction that someone during like the development should have like brought up the fact that why are we spending so much time with this random dude when we barely got to spend any time with Kokomi, we barely got to spend any time with Fox Lady, what's her name? Yae Miko. We barely spent any time with Goro, but then we'll spend like a good part of the end of one act and a good part of the beginning of another act or a good part of like most of like 50% of another act, just like catering to this random NPC that like talks a bit too much.
よし、ことは急を要する。俺たちは後ろから奴らの船を燃やす。その後、また落ち合おう。
Mr. Goro, I was under the impression that we've been invited to Watatsumi Island to have a victory party, not fight some Fatui. What's going on here?
油断するなよ。俺たちも終わり次第、すぐ戻る。
Alright, let's do this.
抵抗軍のみんなはまだオイラたちのことを覚えてくれてたみたいだな。あいつらの手助けができるよう、オイラたちも頑張ろうぜ。
Alright, let's do it. I don't know why I switched to Zhongli there. I guess I teleported as Zhongli. So before that cutscene, I was talking about kind of my my reason to want to stop doing the story quests. One reason would be that the story quests themselves they don't really move the main story, so it takes time, a lot of time for me to like record these and then edit it and then post them. And I generally want to post one video a day, so it like takes up a day of video posting. I guess one video a weekday is what I aim for. But I kind of want to go into other games and like record myself play other games that I'm interested in, especially since this game has kind of like ran its course on me, and I don't know. I'm interested in how the story goes, but like I'm not really like I'm starting to feel like I should maybe take a break from this game and play other games. And I would be really interested to like record myself play other games. So if I were to stop recording story quests, it'll open up more time and give me like more days to post videos of different games and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of my reasoning. Hey boys, I don't have a liquid guy on my team, so this is not gonna go very well. Yes, yes, yes. Stay in the water, please. Stay in the water.
盤石天道万象
I started doing this, and it's pretty fun. I don't technically even need a shield since they can't even reach me while I'm up here. What are you missing? Oh. Why did he heal all of a sudden? Woo! Oh no, I need to knock. Yes, 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 go into the water. Oh boy.
難攻不落
Yeah, there's a lot of things in this game that I don't know. I feel like they're minor like issues on their own, but there's so many of these minor issues that it kind of adds up. Oops. Yeah, that's like there's like this like unit, I guess, you're fighting against that has like this attack that just like sweeps like crazy that you can't really escape from. And like you have to spend stamina in order to get away from that. But then if you have any like elements on you, it would like chain and like kill your characters. That's like one issue with like the combat, where there's so many characters, so many enemy units that you fight against. That's just not very fun to fight against. Like the Hydro Fatui is like a tank, but he also heals everyone. That's not very fun to play against. There's like a reason why healers are generally squishy, because otherwise it just makes everyone into health sponges. And I know, I guess you can argue that you have to strategize and take him out. Another thing is that if you don't have the element to rip the shields out of these Fatui people, they become just health sponges even more, which is also very lame.
天道万象いざ突きあり
And yeah, this is generally like
甘い
not just the Fatui units. There's like a lot of other units that kind of become health sponges or are not very fun to play against because of how they're designed. Like there's these new units that like float around. I don't remember what they're called. Alright, what do we have here?
お前がいなかったらあいつらを逃すところだった
I thought you guys were gonna help. I wonder why they don't have like, I don't know, I guess NPCs units fighting other NPCs unit, the combat design or the way they've programmed those interactions, they don't really work very well. That's why they don't normally have like allied units or units that fight each other, like NPC units that fight each other. Since I guess the combat in this game is kind of like just you versus NPCs, and that's about it.
その手にあるのがココミの虎の巻なのか？どれどれ。うわ、こんなに分厚いのか？
実はこれはまだ一部でしかない
Darn!
5冊もある
そんなに？
三国宮様はあらゆる状況に応じた戦略を考えているそれ
She didn't have a scenario for
少し多いのも仕方ないこと
she didn't have a scenario planned for when anonymous donor of supplies and weapons. It seems like she just like took their word for it. So I don't know, Goro. The fact that you're vouching for her right now makes you seem less competent as well.
この虎の巻のおかげで俺たちはあらゆる複雑な状況に対応できている
I guess henceforth we should just kind of forget what happened in the past and just continue to suspend our disbelief and assume that Kokomi is like the amazing leader that she is if we really want to enjoy the story. Otherwise, I'll just be nitpicking that specific point like constantly, and it'll probably get on people's nerves.
こんなにたくさんの策、どんだけ時間をかけて書いたんだ。あらゆる状況に対応できるようにするなんて、考えただけで頭がクラクラするぞ。
隊長、今回せっかく渡積島に戻ってきたんですし、もう一度メカジキ2番隊の指揮を取りませんか？僕たちみんな隊長に戻ってきてほしいと思っているんです。
Is Swordfish 2 still going strong? Question mark?
今は平和な時期ですので、隊の数を減らして民の暮らしを手伝う必要があると三国宮様はおっしゃっていました。約半分の兵士は特別行動隊の編成を維持し、各小隊の支援をしています。そしてもう半分は見回り、建造、農業などの作業を行っています。ただ先日、昔の同僚が家なんか建てるよりも前線で戦っていたいと文句を言っていたので、タイへの復帰を望んでいるようです。
抵抗軍のみんなは相変わらずだな。そういえばオイラたちがここに来たのはココミが祝賀会に誘ってくれたからなんだ。ボロ、ココミがどこにいるか知ってるか？
So I just remembered that I started using like this ducking software, this ducking feature on OBS. And there was a lot of times where I interrupted the people talking, and now I'm just thinking like, oh, in editing, that would mean like the volume of the game would go down when I talk. But then if I want to like mute myself there, the volume of the game would be very low and I'll be muted. So a lot of the times I don't know exactly when the characters would stop talking and I start making my comments. But then I kind of realized they continue talking, so I stopped talking to let them finish. And then when they do finish, then I like restart and make my comment. But then because of the magic of editing, I was able to kind of just mute myself when I erroneously started talking, so that it just sounds like I started talking when the characters stopped talking, just for like better presentations. But now I'm like, uh-oh, there's this ducking thing, and I'm gonna have to deal with that when I start editing these videos.
三国宮様なら今は多分ボーロー村にいる。あそこで何かあったらしい。三国宮様が直々に対処しているそうだ。俺たちもそろそろ離れよう。そうだ、もし道中で兵士たちを見かけたら注意深く観察しておいてくれ。
Okay.
近頃兵士たちに落ち着きがない。なぜかは知らないが、その理由を俺に話したくないようだ。昔はみんな悩みがあれば俺に言っていたのに、なんであんなコソコソと。何か厄介なことがあったのかもしれない。
Wait, what? They used to tell me all about their concerns, but whatever it is, they're keeping it hidden. I don't like it one bit. I suspect there's trouble afoot. You're their leader, right? You can order them to tell you. I guess, I don't know. I don't really know how military works, and how like how much like power a superior officer has over like their units, like maybe even private matters. Yeah, but I feel like in this case, if like the leader here, Goro, has concerns about his like units, like people in his units, and he asks them and they're like kind of like cagey about it, then that's like reason to like, I don't know, maybe like demote that person, or maybe not go as far as demote, but maybe like bench that person, since it's like, well, when we're out there in the battlefield, it's life or death, and I need to make sure I can trust you in that situation. And right now, you're making it so that I cannot place 100% trust in your abilities because you're hiding stuff from me, so I can't really use you at the moment, or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. Sure, I'll see what I can do.
そうだな。オイラたちも抵抗軍の兵士たちと話がしたかったんだ。 出発しようぜ旅人。
Oh, this is where it starts. Okay. And I'm already 30 minutes in because I keep ranting about how much problems this game have. I feel like whenever like I stop recording, so what happened was for a while, like after the I think it was the arc. No, it was the last thing I recorded was the Raiden Shogun stuff. And then there was like a huge break in between then until like this story crest came out. And in between then I had like a bunch of like opinions and thoughts and stuff that was kind of just brewing in my mind. And whenever I start up a new like recording session, all that just comes out and I just want to talk about all the just like pretty much complain about the game. Let's talk to Denjiro, Sangonomiya Samurai. How are you doing?
あなたはメカジキ2番隊の隊長？
Yes.
あなたのことは知っていますよ。あなたのおかげで今の渡積島の平和があるんです。
It was actually all my effort and no one else's. Like honestly, like did any of you ever expect to actually be able to fight Raiden Shogun anytime soon? I did that. It was me. Give me all the praise.
自分はメカジキ2番隊の隊員ではありませんが、当時タタラスナにいた時、あなたをお見かけしたことがあります。
And even if you did encounter Raiden Shogun in a battle setting, did you think you were able to win? we deserve a lot more praise than what you're offering right now.
両軍が対峙する中、人前秘部で何人もの幕府武士と戦っていましたよね。かっこよかったです。
This is kind of like another criticism I have about the story too. Like, there's all these like random nobody NPCs that just like talk too much and doesn't really add too much to the story, and a lot of times just end up just annoying and wasting your time. At least that's how I feel.
何か自分に手伝えることは何でもお手伝いします。
I've heard people are a bit on edge these days. Like, I think if Goro just told us the next step instead of telling us to just talk to these random people, just like, oh, there's a bunch of soldiers and I think the problem is bleh, and then told us to do whatever the bleh was, then the story would like flow a bit better. But no, he's like, I don't know what's going on. Can you talk to my soldiers for me? And then we gotta like kind of drone through these people talking about random things that don't really affect the story all too much. At least in the past, these little things didn't seem to really add too much. Maybe the only thing they add is that it makes the world feel a lot more populated because there's so many more people and with opinions. But that doesn't really like add to the overall quality of the story. At least I don't think so. I've heard people are a bit on edge these days. ...
落ち着きがない。確かに自分も感じていました。多分まだ戦争の影響が尾を引いているのでしょう。戦場では犠牲になる可能性が常にあったので、皆さんすごく気を張っていましたし。
What battle is he talking about? Is it our battle with Raiden Shogun? Our battle with La Signora? Or was there like a huge battle between the Kanjo Commission? The Kanjo Commission? The Tenryu Commission? And the Resistance? Like simultaneously, like at the same time as when we were like fighting the big guys? Except that we weren't there to witness it, so we just kind of have to, I don't know, acknowledge that these guys weren't just sitting around twiddling their thumbs. They were actually like fighting battles as well.
そんな状況下で戦争がいきなり終わったため、皆さんどうやって普通の生活に戻ったらいいのかわからないんですよ。ですので心配しなくても大丈夫です。少し時間が経てば皆さん良くなると思いますよ。それ以外だと自分には心当たりがありません。ですが三五宮様がいる以上、渡積島に危険はないと自分はそう信じています。それに今はあなたも戻ってきましたので、より安全かと。何か必要なことがあればいつでも自分におっしゃってください。
Okay.
すごく親切な人だったな。他の人にも聞いてみよう。
No, Paimon, we don't care about what these people say. Okay, those birds. Hey, other random soldier that don't really make any imprint on the story whatsoever. What do you have to say? Are you gonna say you're happy to see us and Sangonomiya?
最高だ。
Oh, living the dream, eh?
なんだか見慣れた顔がどこかで見たような、誰だったか思い出せない。だが敵じゃないようだな。何か用か。
I hear people are feeling unsettled at the moment.
みんなに落ち着きがない？そうか？全然そうは感じなかったが。普段から他人と会話をするのが好きじゃないからかもな。俺からすりゃ、あいつらはいつも騒がしいからさ。せっかくの平和なんだ。ちゃんと味わっておかないと。ここで日向ぼっこして海風に吹かれる。俺のやるべきことはそれだけさ。悪いな。お前たちの質問に答えられなくて。三五宮様に聞いてみるといい。あの人なら何でも知ってる。
Okay.
うわー、もう眠っちゃいそうだぞ。これ以上邪魔するのはやめとこう。他の人に聞こうぜ。
Okay, Paimon. Oh, there's two people here. I wonder what they have to say about what's going on right now. Uh-oh.
和平交渉に同意するなんて三五宮様は一体何を考えてるんだ。
ああ、天領奉行の奴らは全く信用できない。奴ら秘密裏にファデュイと結託して俺たちと引き続き戦争しようとしてるらしいぞ。
You guys were unwittingly coordinating with the Fatui as well, so someone like pot calling the kettle black at the moment.
本当か？それは確かなんだろうな。
本当のことだ。俺たちの仲間がファデュイと対峙した時、陰謀を企ててる奴らを見たそうだ。
やっぱりそうだったのか。天領奉行の奴ら、未だによこしまな心を。三五宮様はやはり甘い。奴らを簡単に信じるなんて。
But if this becomes a war of attrition, you guys would lose for sure. You know that, right? You guys are a ragtag bunch of resistance people with maybe one. If we're to like forget about all the weird story plots about Sangonomiya Kokomi and just actually take your guys' word that she's an amazing leader, that's really the only person you have. And no one else. Everyone seems a little bit not so smart since they decided to use Fatui technology to increase their fighting prowess and then ended up killing themselves because it made them age since that technology like took their life force or something. Yeah, this is one thing about the story, that it's so easy to just like pick apart these, like nitpick these things. Like it seems like the writers, maybe there's like a bunch of writers that don't communicate too much about what kind of stories, and they just kind of write what they feel like would be an interesting story, but then like between story plots it like doesn't really make a lot of sense since there wasn't a lot of collaboration there, or like the writers just like don't care. They just want to release something a little bit just like palatable enough so that people don't complain that there's not enough content or something, so they'll just like put something out there so that it's an excuse for content, just to like shut people up for another like few months before like an Archon quest comes up.
静かに、誰か来る。
It is I, the captain of Swordfish 2.
何を話してたんだ？
隊長？戻っていたんですね。
I'm here to join you at the victory feast.
さっきのこと、隊長に言ってもいいか？
Yes, you should.
やめておけ。この人は三五宮様に買われている人物だ。彼女も和平交渉を主張するかもしれない。
We're
隊長なら俺たちを。
we're standing right here.
いや、でも確かに用心に越したことはないか。その隊長の帰還歓迎します。こちらは何も異常ありません。すべて順調です。
I don't believe you.
三五宮様は村にいると思います。隊長もそちらへ向かってはいかがでしょう。
Okay.
おい、なんかこそこそ何かを言ってたような。
So this is another thing too.
でも言いたくないなら仕方ない。まずは村に行ってみようぜ。
This is like, again, for whatever reason, we were privy to what those two guards were saying, but then now, like, Lumine is not supposed to be privy to what they're saying, or are they trying to say like, Lumine has heard them and just like, I don't know, it's just going with it, whatever, it doesn't really matter all that much to her anyway. Like, there's still like that dissonance, this huge dissonance between the player and the Lumine as a character that it feels absolutely like detrimental that she is a silent protagonist. They might as well just give her voice lines and her own opinions and everything, and then we just like play as her. Like we put ourselves into her point of view instead of like trying to kind of be her and be ourselves at the same time, kind of thing. Like what I'm trying to say is like she's like a Super Mario or a Link or a Lara Croft or something that we play as instead of a blank slate like a MMORPG character that we created or a Fallout character that we create or whatever. That's supposed to be like us. That's like what I'm trying to get at, like that difference. So yeah, this is like this. I constantly talk about this because this issue constantly comes up in so many parts of this story. Head to Boro Village. So yeah, earlier this video I was talking about how the issues themselves don't seem like a big deal. They're pretty minor, but there's it happens so many times, and there's so many of them that they all kind of add up to make this game kind of like tedious and frustrating. Even though like the game itself, like if those things were polished out, it would be amazing. And even if you kind of just ignore those little issues, the game is like pretty good on its own. But then like these little like story quirks where like the dissonance we have between us and our main character, a lot of like random NPCs talking that don't really further the story all that much. It would be interesting if they made it so that we can just beeline straight to Kokomi if we want, but then along the way, as like a player choice, we can like talk to all these people and be like, oh, well, what do they have to say? It's like our choice to do that, but we don't have to if we don't want to. That makes it so that at the very least we would feel like we're more in control of the actions of the main character more than anything. But no, we have to, in order to advance the story, we have to talk to everyone. And maybe if they made it so that like these interactions are either like funny or some rewarding somehow, maybe then people would actually like stop to talk to these people. What do they say now anyway? They just kind of summarize. See, if they just said that in the cutscene that we had with them, it would take like 1/5 of the time and convey the same amount of information. But yeah, like the dialogue, the story plot holes and twists, and the dissonance between the characters, like one thing that kind of bugs me. Another thing is like the menus that really bugged me too. Like normally, like in other games with maps like this, the shoulder buttons let you flip between menu items, but no, once you get into the map is the only thing you can see. But for whatever reason, like a lot of these keys don't do it. Like all these buttons don't do it. Like I'm spamming the left and right bumpers right now. They don't do anything. Like it would be nice to let us be able to like hit the right bumper and like get into the character menu, or left bumper to get into the item menu or something, so that we don't have to like back out, go back here or whatever, and then select one. And at the same time, like the party menu, there's like this fake loading bar, and this party menu, you can access like a character thing and do all this stuff. So I don't understand why like this menu is different than the character menu. is it like the amount of loading information that needs to be loaded in that made them split this? But like I feel like the character menu and the party menu should just be the same menu, and I don't have to like constantly switch back and forth. Like, oh, I'm building my character, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna change this to an energy recharge, and I kind of want to see how he fares in a fight or something, and I like change it, and then I can just like immediately add him to the party here instead of going like, okay, I gotta go out, go in here, wait for this fake loading bar, and then like change him. There's like all these like unnecessary steps in between menus and actions that I feel like could be easily streamlined. And like on top of that, I guess further to the issue is like the spiral abyss. I'm not actually gonna go in there, but for those who don't know, like I'll just go there, whatever. There's like this whole thing where you gotta build two teams to kind of tackle the challenge of the floor you're on. And in this menu right here, you can see kind of like a summary of the enemies you're gonna fight against. And judging by like for example, the second half here has a Fatui Skirmisher, Pyro Slinger, Bracer. You need a water or a hydro character to kind of effectively defeat him. Otherwise, he just becomes a health sponge and wastes a lot of your time. And your reward is like time based, so you don't want to be wasting time. But then, if I want to build my character, I would have to be like, okay, I need a water character. Okay. Oh wait, what was the other people? Oh, I got to go back here and check. Oh, the other one was Electro Hammer Guard. Okay, I need a water and an ice. Okay. Oh wait. What was the team I was building before? I don't know. Like, there's like the information access on these like menus. You just kind of have to flip back and forth and memorize things, which is kind of tedious when like there's so much screen real estate here. I feel like you can have like this menu already displayed somewhere here, or you can just like flip between two tabs or something that like you're building the team here. Oh, I'm building my team. Oh wait, what was the thing? And they just hit like a button and it just shows up like what you're gonna fight against. So yeah, that's like another issue with the UI. It seems to be constantly just like requires you to do like way more actions than you really need to. And there's like all these like little combat things that it's just weird. I don't know. I guess earlier I was talking about the Fatui shields, but like you need this like specific elements to destroy certain shields, and if you don't have that element on your team and you're stuck in battle, you don't have access to this menu, so you're kind of stuck fighting them with like your current party. And that just takes way too long for whatever reason. I guess you can run away from battle, but not a lot of times can you do that. And on top of that, like a lot of enemies you fight against, similar to like Fatui, similar to how like if you don't have the element to fight against them, they become unfun to fight against really quickly. There's a lot of enemies in this game that teleports away from you, and for most of the characters, don't have like any way to gap close, so they would teleport away and you had to run to them, spending stamina, and then when you get to them you do a bit of attack, they teleport away again, you gotta run to them again and then attack them, and then when you get close to them they teleport again, and it's just like really annoying to chase them down. And for whatever reason they add that like teleporting mechanic to a lot of characters, or like characters that like move really quickly, like the samurai Ronin guys that does like their crazy dash with their swords, so they move really far away from you really quickly and you have to chase them down, or use like ranged character. But then ranged characters, their auto target is like so bad that you still need to get up close to kind of like force their auto target to hit the character that you want. There's just so many little things about this game that just adds up, and I don't know, it makes it a lot less palatable. And the longer it stays in the game, I think the more detrimental it is, because more and more people will be like, oh, the content, the aesthetics, the themes, that is no longer like good enough to outweigh like all the bad in the game, and they'll like quit because of it.
早く言え。渡積島から仕入れた品物をこっそり天領奉行に渡してるんだろう。
Matsuda. Admit it, we know you've been secretly supplying the Tenryu community with goods purchased. Okay.
天領奉行の商人であるお前が渡積島で商売してるなんて前々からおかしいと思ってたんだ。今回こそは言い逃れできまい。
誤解です。
Is there like a rule or a law that merchants are not allowed to sell things outside of this island or something? Because then if there isn't, then he's just doing his job as a merchant, right? Relocating resources for profit. That's kind of what merchants do.
誤解？何を今更。やはりお前が渡積島で商売することに同意するんじゃなかったぜ。連れてけ。
Hold on. Objection. Oh, it's Kokomi.
ここにいたのか。
Are you gonna show us how great of a leader and amazing strategist you are in this interaction?
何か揉め事みたいだぞ。事情を聞いてくれ。
Oh man, I still feel like I'm being super negative to this story. And it's kind of like ruining the vibe, I feel like. I should try, maybe I should just not talk as much. I did rant like crazy. It's been 51 minutes and we've barely gone through like the first section of this story. And yeah, my bitterness, I feel like just like seeping through and ruining everything. Okay, Kokomi, you're an amazing leader, and that's what I'm gonna believe henceforth.
三国宮様、この商人が怪しい行動をとっていたゆえ捕まえておきました。
Oh yeah.
私どもの調べによれば彼は長期的に商品を仕入れているのですが、それらを売っていないようです。それなのに品物を持っていないため、きっと天領奉行にこっそり運んでいるに違いありません。
Oh boy.
違います。私は。
It was all stolen by the factory. I didn't sell it to them.
そこまで皆さん冷静に私と一緒に深呼吸しましょう。少しは落ち着きましたか？松田、内村、渡積島の安全を心配する気持ちは私も理解していますよ。ですがその前にこちらの商人さんが過ちを犯したかどうかにかかわらず、少なくとも弁解する機会を与えるべきではないですか？過ちを犯せば罰を受けるのは当然。しかしそうでなければ冤罪を着せるわけにはいきません。渡積島で行われる物事は主観的な判断ではなく、全て事実に基づくものでなくては。
Very good.
商人さん、私の部下が品物のことについて疑問を抱いています。そのことについて説明をなさってから私が判断を下すというのはいかがでしょうか？
はい、もちろん。渡積島で商売を始めてから確かに在庫を多数抱えていました。もう少し在庫を確保して商品の値段が上がった頃に売ろうかと。
You must hodl the line.
しかしそんな時、仕入れた品物をファデュイに奪われてしまったんです。私が何をしたというのでしょう。品物は奪われた上にあなたたちに尋問までされるなんて。
I was just joking about the factory stealing his stuff, but that's exactly where this story is going.
それが本当かどうかなんてわからないだろう。
We ran into some factory and murdered the shit out of them.
だとしてもファデュイに奪われたという証明にはならない。それに天領奉行とファデュイは結託してるんだ。ファデュイの手に渡ったということは天領奉行の手に渡ったも同義。
Hold on. Your initial accusation is that he's helping the Tenryu Commission, and his explanation directly proves that wrong since it is the Fatui that stole his stuff. So instead of continuing to hammer on him, I think you have more investigation to do.
え、天領奉行がファデュイと結託？それはどこからの情報ですか？
Exactly.
何も知りません。
Just because you have information about Fatui and Tenryo Commission colluding, you can't assume that everyone else has that information.
それに結託していたとしても私と関係ないじゃないですか。
I guess a lot of the times, people like police want to make the arrest because in the case that the person is guilty, if you don't make the arrest, there's a chance that they will like run away and you won't be able to find them, so you won't be able to like bring justice.
戦争はもう終わったのに天領奉行がまだファデュイと結託してるのか？おいらは違うと思うけど。おいらたちこの前九条家の名代に会ったんだ。そういうことをするような人じゃなかったと思うぞ。でもここに来るまで確かに兵士たちがこのことについて話してたな。ココミ、お前は何か知ってるか？
確かにそのような報告を聞きました。もう少し経てば私たちと天領奉行の和平交渉の日になります。今回の交渉は上里家によって仕切られ中立地点で行われます。
Oh, is Ayaka gonna be at this like peace talk thing?
私と九条サラが
Oh.
それぞれ自衛を引き連れこれからのことについてしっかりと計画を立てる予定です。
Wait, Kujo Sarah is part of the whatever the I already forgot the Ayaka's like commission. I thought she was part of the other one with the trader person. Interesting.
しかしそのような大事な時期にとある噂を耳にしました。九条家が未だにファデュイと結託しており渡積島を壊滅させようと企んでいると。もしそれが本当なら交渉は罠である可能性が、そして上里家もそれに関わっているかもしれません。
That's why we're gonna be there to stop things if it ever goes south, right?
商人さん、あなたの品物は本当にファデュイに奪われたのですか？
本当です。嘘はついていません。ファデュイは私の品物を奪ってあちらの方に行きました。そこに秘密の拠点があるのかもしれません。
わかりました。容易ならぬ事態です。私たちがあなたの品物を取り戻しましょう。うまくいけばあなたの身の潔白も証明できます。
But for the time being, we're going to have to put you in jail, or at least put you in house arrest, so that we know you're not going to run away as we're investigating the matter.
もし本当にファデュイと天領奉行の結託を証明するような事態が起きた場合、あなたには調査に協力してもらう必要があります。よろしいですね。
And if you don't comply with our investigations, then bad things would happen.
異論ありません。三五宮様が直々にお手伝いをしてくださるなんて、なんとお礼を申せば。
I feel like the story wants us to already assume that he is innocent and that Kokomi here is doing the right thing by giving him a chance and actually doing the investigation herself. But at the same time, in a real life kind of situation, you can't really make that assumption. It just works in these like stories because it's like narratively driven, and you can kind of see where the plot is leading to. But in real life, you can't make that assumption. You can't just be like, oh, he must be innocent because of what he said. And because our guard here was being a little bit of a dick, we kind of dismiss his experience, or dismiss his opinion of the situation.
松田、内村、あなたたちは？
三五宮様の仰せのままに。
よろしい。旅人、いえ、メカジキ小隊2番隊隊長、私と共にこのことについて調査していただけますか？
Sure thing.
では、あなたと離れていた間に新たな成長を遂げているかどうか見せてもらいますね。
Are we gonna get to use her in battle? That would be pretty fun.
私もあなたに自分の得意なことをお教えいたします。
Nice. Oops. All right.
品物を探し出せたらあの商人の潔白が証明できるはずだ。それにパデュイと天領奉行が結託してるっていう噂もちゃんと調査しないとだな。
Yeah, it's been an hour. I'm gonna end things here. I wanted to end things a lot earlier, but I just had like this urge to just talk about all my grievances and complain about this game. And if you made it this far, thanks for listening to my complaints. If you have any, like, I don't know, if you agree or disagree, or if you have any opinions too, I would like to hear it in the comments, actually, because I feel like because I played this game by myself and I don't really, like, I don't have any friends that play it, so I don't have anyone to really talk about this game with. And a lot of the communities, like forums and like mostly the subreddit, the Genshin Impact subreddit, I feel like a lot of times I don't really agree with a lot of people's sentiment about a lot of the things. But actually no, I would say there's a lot of people that I don't agree with, but there's also a lot of posts that I do see the logic behind. But yeah, anyways, yeah, if you have any opinions about, like, I don't know, all the things I've talked about all the little janky things about the UI, about the story narrative, the flow of the plots, the enemy combats and everything, leave them down in the comments, and I would like to read about it and see what other people think about this game. And yeah, and I don't know. So far, gotta admit, this story isn't really carrying me all that much. So I feel like maybe it is time to stop doing, like, I'll complete this story at the very least, but after like all the 2.1 stories, I don't know if I'll continue to record myself play through them. So yeah, look forward to other content, I guess. I was like recently thinking about going back into Guild Wars 2 since they've released a bunch of new content, and they also have like a expansion coming out. I don't know if they've announced a launch date yet, but they're like ramping up and building hype for a new expansion. For those who don't know, I started this channel playing Guild Wars 2 since that was the one like live service game that really captured my attention. And then when this game came out, it was just like so new and shiny that it kind of took over the channel. And yeah, I was thinking about going to Guild Wars 2, or maybe like doing games that are kind of like one playthrough short, like a maybe 10-12 hour kind of experience kind of thing. Like, I really like the Batman games, and I've played a few of them in the past, and I feel like I would be really happy to do this kind of video game content where I make my opinions and make my comments over the gameplay as I play it. And I haven't played those games for a long time, like the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, like that series, the Arkham series of games I want to kind of do. And they're like about, I don't know, like 20 hours or so, depending on all the side content you want to do. And yeah, look forward to that kind of stuff, I guess. They're all in the plans, I guess, and it just depends on how much time I have to do it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'm sorry for ranting constantly and complaining about this game. If you really love this game, hopefully you can kind of see my side of the story, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and goodbye.